Yeah, I guess we're live here. Make sure my volume is up. Can everyone hear me? I can't hear myself. Let me make sure I'm up. Let me check the chat. How the hell did I do that? We're testing StreamYard here, so all of this is kind of new to us over here. So bear with me as we get through this StreamYard here. Let's see. Where is the chat? How do I find it? Let's see. Where's the chat? Chat wizards. Blah, 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 blah. I probably should have figured that out. I do this here. Let me see where the chat is. Anyway, I'm going to be discussing a little bit of Airbnb today. I'm going to go through some Airbnb stuff I read on Airbnb, some of the stuff that I've encountered myself with Airbnb. And I hope you find it interesting. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Okay, so it's live, one person watching. So what I need to do, let's see what the chat is showing here. And let's see. All right, chat is showing. Again, we're testing Streamlabs, and at the same time, Roller Skate Girl, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Let's see how I get this thing all going. I'm trying to see the chat, so give me 1 second. Is this it? So 3 people watching. How do I do this? I'm navigating new this new platform here. And we're testing out Streamlabs in concert with StreamYards. Imagine that. All right, so let me get to what I wanted to get to, and then I'll figure out some of this other stuff a little bit later. Let me see how do I do this? I don't want to do that. Now I'm like all bold on the screen. Let's see. All right, I know how to do this. All right, cool. I'm looking for the chat here. So I want to be able to get some feedback from you guys. And I just don't know where to find it here. React, is that where it is? Nope. Add cam, stop video, share. All right, anyway, I'll roll through kind of what I wanted to talk about here. And here's one of the things I want to talk about here. Let me pull it up. This will be kind of our weekend review as well as a StreamYard kind of rehearsal here, Streamlabs kind of rehearsal. All right, here's some of the things I read in the Airbnb community here. Let's see if I can pull this up. I don't think I'll. Let's see. So oftentimes with Airbnb, you'll see that the hosts, they're dancing to Airbnb. They're trying their best to be the best hosts. It's kind of like super chats with YouTube. So let me share my screen with you. Share. And again, I'm just testing all of this out just to kind of work through it. Let's proceed. All right. And so oftentimes you'll see Airbnb hosts, they're trying their best to be the best host they can possibly be. And then they run into an issue like this. Where's my phone here? And if you can read it, it'll say, I need help. I need host veterans to help me out here. I told my husband that having makeup towels wouldn't matter to some guests, and here we are. Any washing tips on getting these stains out? And look at this. This is if you have white towels in an Airbnb, you're really just asking for to be punished here. I tried it early on in my Airbnb career. We put white towels out, and it was just a disaster. You just can't do it. Makeup towels or whatever. Just go with, if you want to put out makeup towels, put them all black. But in some houses, all of my towels are black. It's not a big deal. No one complains. And you don't see me on Facebook posting these type of pictures here. So anyway, it's something I found very interesting here. And that was that. I hope you were able to see that. Let me see. Oh, I probably need to show it on screen. Oh, here it is. I need hosts, veterans to help me out here. You can see it. While you're reading that, I'm going to see if I can pull up the chat here so I can see the chat. Again, we are using a new platform here, Streamlabs. So I'm going to see if I can pull it up. I saw it earlier, but now I can't seem to find it here. Schedule design, styles, text, video, nope, settings. And so you can read that on the screen, and I'll scroll down and you'll be able to see like some of the pictures here. As you can see, the towels are just totally destroyed. Totally amazing right there, right? And so there and again, it's like when you try to provide like something really nice for the people, it just doesn't really work out like that until you end up with something like that. And it's just better to go with black towels and just call it a day, you know. No big deal, no harm, no foul. Let me see if I can figure this out. Give me 1 second here. 1 second. All right, I'll put the. For those of you interested in supporting the channel, I'm going to put the link in the channel. We want to see how some of the integrations are working with the channel. So if you are feeling generous, we'd be happily to appreciate that while we test out the features here. Okay, let me share with you something else I read from Airbnb. Here it is right here. Here it is, Airbnb. Hope I can pull this up. Excuse me. That is a wrap. Give me 1 second here. Allergies are killing me. Anyway, so what we have here is, let me share my screen here. Yeah, I don't know why I asked this. Share my screen. So here's a comment on an Airbnb community board I'm a member of. Hi, my first question ever, host since over 12 years. How is it possible the guest and also me can write a review about the reservation despite the booking was 100% canceled and Airbnb even charged me, the host, a cancellation fee of several hundred US dollars? It sounds wrong to me. Thanks. I will not accept it and leave Airbnb if this is their policy. And by the way, I would like to share my opinion. The first few years I enjoyed Airbnb as a community, but since 2 years, I feel Airbnb only cares about making money. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I'm sorry. I'm getting used to this platform. So I'll scroll in and you can see exactly what this lady is saying here. And so basically, she's saying that, Airbnb is not so fun like it used to be. She was able to, enjoy the community. And now they're writing her reviews, even though they canceled their stay. I've had this exact same issue, and it's very disheartening. Someone cancels, primarily they cancel because they don't want to stay where they booked. They may get to the neighborhood, and you guys know that my neighborhoods are not, always in the greatest neighborhood. So they get to your neighborhood, and it's like, oh, I don't want to stay here anymore. So they cancel. But then they write a review saying how, excuse me, excuse me. But then they write a review telling you how bad your neighborhood is. They be like, you didn't even stay there. You didn't even get a chance. You didn't even walk in the house. Just last night, I'm going to show you. I had a Chinese lady, and she booked my Airbnb, and I knew she was not going to stay. She's a Chinese lady. She booked for one night in the ghetto, Southeast DC, black neighborhood. So I'm knowing she's not going to stay, but I said, whatever. We'll just let it roll out, see how it plays out. Sure enough, she canceled. And so here's the thing about Airbnb. I have a cancellation policy. It's very flexible, the most flexible cancellation policy. So if you cancel at the last minute, well, you have to pay for it. But if you cancel a day, 2 days ahead of time, no big deal. No skin off of your back. You can walk away without having to pay me anything. Well, anyway, she waits till the last minute. She probably shows up to the place and cancels. Well, at that point, she rightfully owes me the reservation, whatever she was going to pay for the reservation. This is an Asian lady. I'll see if I can pull up her reservation here. And she canceled. So Airbnb called me and said, hey, this person wants to cancel. I missed the phone call. And they were about to return her, give her a refund on her money. I'm like, yo, um, she's not eligible for a refund because she wanted to cancel. Let me see if I can pull her reservation up here. And let me see. I think I have it. Where was it? But it's clearly an Asian lady. Her name was, I don't know, Zhang Dong or something to that effect. Chinese lady, more than likely. Let's see if I can find it here. Looking at my reservations. Anyway, so this lady clearly wanted to cancel, and Airbnb was going to pay her. Here it is. Is there? No, not this. Not it. I can't find it. But either Airbnb was clearly going to give her a refund back on her reservation, solely on the basis of her uh, demanding a reservation. She wanted to cancel, even in violation of my policy. And it just really goes to the point that I tried to explain to people that with Airbnb, you really don't have a policy. You have to enforce their policies, but you don't have a policy of your own. And that is a classic example of what I'm explaining there. And if you can give me a second here, I'm going to see if I can pull up some of these things just to test it here. Let's see. Maybe I can't find it here. Let's see. Yeah, I can't find it. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm testing out the Streamlabs here. So I'm trying to see what I can do here. Let's see. I probably need to test this right here. It's always a hassle testing out new technology here. Let's see. Podcast editor. I'm going to try the podcast editor here. That's not it. Anyway, let's expand here. What else do they have? Anyway, testing new platforms. Very frustrating. Yes. Make sure I have a delivery coming up. All right. And one more story I'll tell you about Airbnb before I get out of here. Again, we're just kind of testing this platform here. And here's the last article. I'll show you here. Again, it's about Airbnb refunds. And I'll pull this one up here. And here's a classic example. And I think it really highlights that the guests oftentimes don't understand the Airbnb review policy. And so let's take a look at this Airbnb review. This is a comment from the Airbnb host community here. And I'll let you take a look at this comment here. So the person is basically commenting that they end up writing an honest review and the guest allowed an unauthorized person into their home after checkout. And for some reason, their review did not affect her score at all. She still has 5-star rating, and the person gave her a 4-star for not having a washer dryer machine which brought her score down to 4.96. Still a very good rating. And the lady goes on to ask, how come her score was not affected, but my score was? Seems really unfair. Again, the customer, these people don't understand who the customer is. The customer is the guest, not the host. And when you're not the host, when you're not the customer, when you're not the person bringing the money to the table, then they're not going to bring the guest, the customer score down relative to the customer. So that's what this complaint is about. Now, I'm not sure if this lady is right, wrong. It really doesn't matter. The guests get to make all types of alternative IDs, profiles. I've shown you some of the profiles that I see in the Airbnb platform for potential guests. The Airbnb host can't do that, right? There's all kind of verifications that they're constantly performing on the host, but the guests get kind of a blank check to do whatever they like to do. Again, it just goes to the point I'm making that these are not your customers; these are Airbnb customers. And excuse me, my allergies are killing me today. But so you have to proceed accordingly. And I recommend to every Airbnb host to figure out a way to minimize your dependency on Airbnb, and that way, I think your business will be a lot better. You're in the short-term rental business, and short of that, you're just kind of like the whipping boy or the slave for Airbnb here. Anyway, I think this is going to kind of conclude this stream, excuse me, and the test of Streamlabs here. Thank you again.